Hello, Josh, Sam, and anyone else who's watching, and welcome back to Lviv and Let Die. We are playing in the Ukrainian Cup semi-final because there have been no meaningful fixtures since our defeat to Śląsk Wrocław in the Europa League round of 16. We did obviously play Karpaty in the quarter-final, but I thought, at that stage, if we're going to play every single round of the damn cup, they'll never finish the season. So we are going to play Dynamo Kiev, and then we'll play Shakhtar, and we'll see then. We might then have a double-header video to end the season with, or if not, I won't bother playing the Dynamo game. So let's see how things go. Since we last met, it was the 0-0 draw with Krivbas, I think. We then, so that basically put paid to our chances at the league. If that wasn't the case, we did then draw 2-2 with Olympic Donetsk. We came back from 2 down we came back twice, to draw 2-2 away at Donetsk. We did follow that up with a 5-0 smashing of Volyn, where Handanovic got a hat-trick. And we did then beat Metalist 1-0, but Alexandria held us to a draw. We then came back a little bit and we beat Karpaty 3-1. We were down in that game as well, but quite hilarious own goal. Their defender cleared it into the defender's arse and it went in, and so we went through there. And we then beat Govela and Odessa fairly easily. Lots of goals for Rosic in this little period here, meaning he's got over 30 goals in the league this season. Over 20 goals, in the league this season, over 30 goals in total. We're now going to play Dynamo Kiev in the Ukrainian Cup semi-final. And as I say, then we'll play Shakhtar after that. We'll see if we could have won the league had we had a little bit better potential. Now, we have to play a few players here. Things like Nazarenko has to come in instead of Nikolov. That's fine because Nikolov was playing his first game of the season anyway. Big Seb is out injured, so we'll just take him out of the side entirely. Shpak and Golovchenko, they're going to have their chances to win their yellow cards, which would keep them out of the final. Okay, now then. Attacking wise, Petrenko's now injured. Kiryakov is probably Borovkov is good, so we'll bring on Borovkov on the bench, and we're actually going to start him up top there, which puts us over our Ukrainian players limit. We'll also have, who else will we also have? Yushkov will probably play because he's played well in the group in all the games so far. We don't really have any. Yegorov as well. Yegorov will come in as an opportunity to swap out one of our Ukrainian midfielders there. Otherwise, I think we're going to leave the team the same as much as we can do. Rosic is in such good form recently that it doesn't make sense to take him out of the side. And we can always bring in Kubistel later on with the aim of trying to nick a winner or something like that, or really just sort of turn the screw later on. Let's see now then, calmly telling everybody, Rosic played the semi-final against, the quarter-final, against Karpaty in abysmal morale. I'm not really sure why. He then scored an absolutely stunning equaliser for us. I don't quite know what went on there with him, but he wasn't happy. At the half-time, we were 1-0 down, and I had to do a aggressive, this is a load of rubbish, team talk, which seemed to make the difference. They turned it round in the second half, and in fact, Mahmoud praised my team talk in the second after the match, saying I'm an excellent manager, which I am. So here we go then. Did we lose to Dynamo earlier on in the season? I'm not sure. We've not lost that many games after that initial run of poor form. So it might be that we actually beat them. Oh, Smishko puts it just past the post there into the side netting. Now then, Shpak has been fouled by Smishko. What's going on then? Nothing. We've not really had a chance. Or at least not a visible chance. I'll just check the stats here. Have we actually made anything? No, not at all. Sometimes it gives you like random efforts that maybe a player has just had a completely wild effort that they didn't bother showing you. Fabry now to Taffy Lee. There should be no reason that we should fear these guys. We are above them in the table. Obviously, it's a slightly different team for us, and I assume for them who are playing in this game than their usual. Golovchenko out to Shpak. Shpak puts the ball into Labant. Labant maybe can slip through somebody. No, he went for a shot himself, of course. Not sure if Labant's actually scored this season. He might have 1 or 2. He did have a pretty good goal-scoring season 1 or 2 years ago where he got, I don't know, 5 or 6. Yushkov, great ball through to Rosic. Rosic now released on the right-hand side, but Devet clears out for a throw. Gonzalez to Yushkov. Yushkov again tackled by Demo. Gonzalez to Rosic. Rosic to Gonzalez. Gonzalez back to Rosic. Rosic tackled in the box, unfortunate. And now Bodau has a chance to clear and launch a counter. Liftovchak. I can't imagine a number 17 is their usual starting striker. So we probably don't have to worry too much about him. Levchenko, though, puts the ball in again. Vasilyev, he's another. All these players with quite high numbers, I expect, are their Ukrainian players who have had to play in this game. Taffy Lee, big ball up. Borovkov gets it. Rosic now. Borovkov, could he be slipped through? No, Rosic has gone on his own and he scored because he's a brilliant player. Lovely, lovely stuff. He's delighted. Great goal. Superlatives all over the shop from the man on the commentary at the bottom. Or maybe the woman. And with our first shot on target, we have got our first goal. Slightly against the run of play, I think it's fair to say. But maybe this is going to be a bit like that Karpaty game where we go on to now dominate. Fabry heads over the bar. He's actually within the top scorers list of the Cup. Fabry with 3. Petrenko, the other Ukrainian striker we have, who is in the under 21s, he injured himself or got injured in a training exercise. He's actually also in the top there. He's got 3 goals in 3 games for the senior team this year, and also something like 16 goals for the under 21s, so he's pretty good. I don't know how the reserve team works, because we do have a second team, but I don't know where that second team actually sort of is. There's no league structure below the second division, so you must assume Rosic is going to score this. He does comfortably, easy done, and that was nicely, seamlessly put into what I was saying there, but I was going to say you have to assume that the Lviv seconds are playing in at least the third division, probably lower, and also the squad is completely unpopulated, so I don't know whether if we put players into that squad they actually will play any games. I'm not sure how it works. Obviously in some leagues, like in Germany, what have you, the second teams end up being sort of quite good, sort of second division teams. Borovkov went for a long range P-roller, but Kefalov has saved. Demo now to Levchenko to Vasilyev. Nazarenko, Shpak, Livtovchak, good name. Vasilyev, Litovchak, not Livtovchak, which is a shame. There's not enough V's in his name as it is. Juric clears nicely. Matebula, strange looking name. Anyway, he's on a booking. 2-0 up. Looks like we're going to be cruising to the final, which is quite nice. So it means that I mean, let's not count our chickens, but it seems like the big game will be the Shakhtar game coming up. We've beaten them, I think it was 5, could have been 6-0 earlier on in the season, and possibly it was at home, and so this one's away, and so therefore it should be a little bit harder. But they haven't lost very many games at all. I think they've only lost 3 in total. Nazarenko now with a chance to put it to the back post. Labant heads just over the bar. So that'll be an interesting game. We can't win the league now, but we could win it for Krivbas, because I think they're within touching distance of Shakhtar. So if we beat Shakhtar, Krivbas could win. Metalist did finally sack their manager and offered me the job. I turned it down, obviously. Rosic. Borovkov. Interestingly, he's got too many V's in his name. Borovkov smashing well over the bar there. Yeah, I was offered the Metalist job after that guy was finally sacked, I've been asked questions about his sacking, whether or not he should be sacked, pretty much every single press conference this season. So it's nice that he at least, I guess, finally got some closure. Yushkov, good ball in there. We rarely do that, put the ball back and then cross it into the box. Nice to see it happening, because that's kind of a thing that I think they should do more. Vasilyev floats the ball gently over the bar. So what have we got going on? Shpak, they haven't been booked in midfield, these two. It's a bit of a surprise. Yegorov, is he a better right midfielder or a better central midfielder? He's actually leaving us, going to Desna. He's not very good. But let's give him a bit of a game, because Yushkov's going to have to play, and as we remember from last season, the final will probably be on the Friday there, the 7th. Oh, they've scored. Eduardo heading into the back post. Not bad at all, son. Good header. Maybe we shouldn't have made that change, but whatever. We'll take it. Lola out to Badal. Lola puts the ball in. Oh, it's a good header away from Nazarenko. Yegorov, big ball up from Yegorov, but no one was there. Shpak. Are they getting slightly overrun in midfield? Golovchenko now. Borovkov can just play the simple ball to Rosic. He does. Rosic, could he go for the hat-trick? He tried, doesn't make it. Good save, and it's gone out for a corner. Nazarenko puts the ball in. Gonzalez could have been there. He wasn't. Juric puts the ball out. Could be offside. It's not, and it's another corner for us. We're going to take it, and then we're going to look into making a change because we're about that magical Wheatland time. Nazarenko puts the ball in again. Fabry at the back post has scored. He's got a goal again. His 10th of the season for a centre-back. That's pretty good. He must be up there with our top scorers. We have Kubistel. Let's bring on Kubistel for Rosic. Let's not tire them out. And the same with Labant. Let's not tire him out for the Shakhtar game. So make a couple of changes there. Rosic hasn't been substituted for a long time, but I think maybe a chance to give him a bit of a break before the game against Shakhtar. That'd be good. So the way I'm thinking is we need a new right midfielder, a first-team right midfielder, not a young player who can come through. So that's going to be my main aim, and also someone to. Oh no, we've already got a decent backup right back. So yeah, it's right midfield is where we're currently struggling most. Left midfield, we're also not looking 100%, but we do at least have a couple of options there. I'm not convinced by Gonzalez, mate. What are you doing, bruv? Not convinced 100% by Bakur. And Big Seb has flattered to deceive in the last couple of seasons since his nickname change. When he was called Figure, that name that I couldn't say. He was... Oh, Yegorov! Oh, Kefalov saves nicely. Now then, 78 minutes. We've got loads of players coming in, loads of young players. A lot of them, I thought, oh, they're great. They're 15. I'll buy them now. When they come in, they can become homegrown. The problem being that a lot of them are so young that they don't actually go on international transfers until they're 18. So I think we've signed one guy who's coming in 2 years' time from a Czech team. Not ideal. Yeah, he's second top scorer in the competition. Can we have Govela in the final? Please, let's have Govela in the final, not Dynamo. Not Dnipro, because if we've had all the really difficult teams in our cup run this year. We've not had a single easy one. We've got Govela in the final, a team that we just beat 3-0, I think. We're through to our second final in a row. Golovchenko has picked up a one-match ban, which should be covered by the Shakhtar game. Shrewsbury have won League 2. Schalke have won the German First Division. Teska have won the Premier League, which is the first time someone other than Spartak have won it for a few years, I think. Or did that happen last year? Oh no, rather Spartak beat them for the first time. Okay, well, I keep my eyes around the grounds. I just don't pay attention. I felt confident the game was won. It was always a worry. No, he was simply faultless. He's got 33 goals in all competitions this season. He's an absolute delight of a player. He's on quite a long contract and he's worth nearly £4 million, according to the game. I won't be selling him at all this summer unless the board go over my head, which is a possibility. But if we keep continuing to improve our reputation and stuff, that should stop. So a win in the Ukrainian Cup would help with that. It would boost things a little bit. Now we need to know when that Ukrainian Cup final is. Rosic has got the most man of the match awards. Let's look at the fixtures quickly. So yeah, where did we play? We played Govela recently and we beat them 4-1. The hope is we can do that again. Now we need to know when that game is. I expect they'll sandwich it between those two games, which would be stupid, but it wouldn't be a surprise, quite frankly. Kubin are after Gogua. No, thank you, sir. Issue, hands off warning. Let's just go to him and check what our... So it says we're unlikely to settle for anything less than 2 million. That's absolutely not true. My asking price is 10 million. And he's indispensable to the club. That would keep some of those players away. Some of those clubs away. Govela on the 9th. Yeah, so that has been put right smack in the middle of those 2 games. Why? There's no need. That's 4 games in 2 weeks. That's stupid. Absolutely no need for it. But it's okay, fine. So we beat Shakhtar. Let's see. So we're playing them away. We beat Shakhtar 6-0 earlier on in the season. Shpak got 2, Kabistel got 2, Rosic and Twamasi scored. The question is, can we equal that? The answer is most likely no. The question that is more likely to be one that we can answer is, can we do a similar result? Can we win again? That's the main thing. And the answer to that could be yes, but it could be no. It could also be we could draw, which would still be a no. If you can hear outside, is that Gavin Blackler still playing? If you can hear outside, there's a house being built, so sorry about that. Bradford have won the championship title. Leicester have finished 5th, Hull finished 4th, QPR have got a playoff place. Śląsk have done the double, oh my goodness, that's quite good, because they were well behind Polonia for a while when we were playing them, but obviously playing us has kind of kick-started their form. Let's just see. The senior squad, fixtures, yeah, they've been on a pretty good run. They lost to us there, and then they've only lost 1 more game since. 2 games they lost. Oh, of course, yeah, they nearly went through against Rayo Vallecano. They did really well. I think they got beat in extra time on away goals, which was a bit of a shame. Or rather, they didn't get beat on away goals in extra time. They got beat after extra time. They scored twice in extra time, did Rayo, so they're through to the final. This guy's pretty good. 600k, eh? I think he's going to be similar to... Can I approach to sign him for how much? 1.7 million. 1.2 million, rather. Maybe let's put in a cheeky 500k bid. Nader Maradi. Because I've decided I'm going to sell Von der Putten this season, and Handanovic has been sort of arguing with me a little bit. I did manage to convince him to stay, and he took away... He retracted his transfer request, but he is a strange man. Excuse me, sorry. That took me completely by surprise. He's a strange man who refuses to do well consistently. He does sort of very regularly play averagely. I think Birmingham won the Premier League. Won the League Cup. Let's just go history, competitions. League Cup 2066. Yes, they did. Who did they play in the final? York. Wow. Good one, Birmingham. And I just want to check that, was it Derby or was it Sheffield Wednesday? Someone in this league has a player called Blackler. It's not QPR. It's not Plymouth. Was it Derby? Are they in this league? Was it Swansea? With their... Alright, I'm going to search for it. He can't possibly be Gavin Blackley. Is he still knocking around? No, he's a first-team coach at Newcastle. Got in with his nearly 100 caps. Absolute Swindon legend. 2 seasons. So who was it then? Sam Blackler? No, it can't have been him. So it must be him. Simon Blackler, who plays for Sheffield Wednesday. Okay. He's rubbish. Fine. Doesn't matter then. My interest has been de-peaked. Hull are going to be taken over. So now we have the opportunity here. I'm confident. Attack. Rosic. Shakhtar. Well, yeah, they do know how we're going to play because we always play the same way and we're great. We have a plan to deal with them. That man's name is Tabri. I'm not interested in him. He's way too much money for someone who's like that. Live Plans have been delighted and have even come up with a new chant just for him. Wow. I mean, that's some level of support. They've even come up with a song for him. So, can we help Krivbas win the league? Yes, we potentially could. Shakhtar, if we beat them, they could go ahead of them. So, let's try and do that. Krivbas, a different winner for the Premier League. Someone sneakily coming into the room behind me. But they left pretty soon when they realised I'm doing a cool thing, which is recording a Football Manager video. So, they want £850,000 for him. I don't want to pay that much money. I will pay $600,000. For a player of his standard. If they don't accept that one, I'm going to cancel negotiations because he's not that good. We can definitely find better. But a lot of players can end up going to Middle Eastern clubs for quite a lot of money. No, they've not accepted it, so withdraw. Sorry, mate. Metalurg Donetsk getting taken over. Who's about to win the first league? Are we going to get anyone interesting coming up? No, John Moretz and Sevastopol. It is a shame. I would like to see some of the slightly weirder teams come back up. Helios Kharkiv, Zirka. These two, Titan and Prikapatia, would be fun to see up there. Just the same old names constantly being around. It's a shame. I think Odessa are about to be relegated tonight after this game, which would be good because I don't like them. They don't have a badge. They also used to beat us all the time when they had lots of money, but now they don't, and that's good. Our player actually has more goals than their player, which excites me. The main team, though, we can't play Golovchenko, but that's fine because we've got Gogua. We can't play Big Sebs. That means it does have to be Bakur playing. Mladenovic is going to play instead of Špak to give Špak a bit of time to recover for the final. Similarly, we're going to bring on Saint Bernal, and up front we're going to put up Kubistel, and we're going to put Uros Handanovic there, which gives us another midfield place to play around with. Who else do we have? Anybody? We'll put Juraj on then. Juraj Belan is definitely his name. I haven't left anyone stupid in the pitch. No, I haven't for once. Okay, good. So they're about to play a bunch of things. Mladenovic is about to play his 25th league appearance for us, which I think after 2 seasons is pretty poor. So let's say good luck, because they seem to react well to that earlier on in the season when I said it to them. We're all in superb form, or at least superb morale, and pretty good form. Let's see if the team talk I chose does the wondrous things that it should do. We have a bit of a habit of conceding early in games, so scoring early would be nice. We do have the ability to come back in a lot of those games. It's not like conceding early tends to really do for us. But on the odd occasion, like for example that game that I highlighted against Olympic Donetsk, we really could just have done with not conceding early because it just put the whole game behind us. Don't you dare get sent off, Fabry. Okay, that's all right then. Although after 3 minutes in a top of the table clash, not ideal, but whatever. He scoffs the ball into Fabry, who clears nicely. Kubistel, he's on his own, but he has got Rosic coming up in support of him. He goes himself, smashes the ball over the bar, unlucky. Now we need Krivbas to do their own bit as well. Are they winning? They are already winning. So a win for us would put them level on points with Shakhtar and hopefully above them if it's goal difference that's taken into account first. It might be that it's the head-to-head record. So we'll have to see. Ribas to Montano, Miloc, Juric. You would think that this is going to be a much closer game than the 6-0 hammering. The teams usually sort of tighten up against you the next time round, unless they're really shit, and and then they can't. They got a player called Henderson in midfield. Miloc, great ball through to Hernandez. Absolutely great bit of vision there from the man, but he doesn't hit the target. Taffy Lee, however, with a big chance, heads the ball up to Rosic. Cactus in goal. Cactus, nice. He's a prickly customer. Nom, nom, nom. Oh dear. Right, Miloc to Henderson. Miloc. Tortorella puts the ball wide of the post, and they have definitely had the most of the running in this game. There is a very slow-moving lorry going past the window, but it will be gone soon. This brings me back to the Schlons days of having kids screaming about outside the windows and things like that. Luckily, it's too cold for kids. Kids, as we all know, can only exist in plus 20 degrees. Natali, we could have had them. I think if we did just push them a little bit more there. Oh, Robertinho. Robertinho scores. Strange name, Robert Inho. Small Robert. Why don't you just call him Bob then? Maddening. 200th league goal of his career. Well, fuck him. Let's make that a game to forget. Gonzalez to Rosic. Gonzalez to Mladenovic. Nazarenko, Bakur, Mladenovic. Kubistel, great save from the Cactus Man. And the ball has gone over for a corner. Gogua puts the ball in. Oh, nobody was there. Scoff clears. Tortorella. Oh, plays a 1-2 with our man. And Juric clears. Nicely done. Got to hope that they lose a couple of good players this summer. Oh, Rosic has gone through a man there. And they have a free kick. Could this be 2 for them? It couldn't. It was it was a good idea of a ball. Nobody really read it from their players, which is good for us. Scoff throws to Henderson. Juric clears eventually. Montano gives it back to Henderson. Miloc puts the ball well past the post. He's been quite wasteful for them. Nazarenko to Rosic. Rosic goes round his man. Easy. Puts the ball in the middle, does he? Oh, he does the one bad decision right at the end there. Cabistel to Labant. Smashes the ball. Juric now to Labant. Juric, Gogua. Mladenovic has the ball in the box. I think he had a shot there in amongst the mess. Oh dear, and now Tortorella's been put through. Oh, great double save. Great double save there from Taffy Lee. And 36 minutes gone. It's not been exactly even. Oh, I suppose it has been statistically. It hasn't really looked even. They've got an injury to their right midfielder though, so that's tasty. They are playing 4-4-2. Usually 4-4-2 is a formation that we can do well against. Labant, Mladenovic, Gogua. Did he go for a shot or was that a long ball? Madness. Rosic goes through the defender, has a shot, but Cactus saves. He's equal to it. He puts up a big old spiky wall. Gogua puts the ball in. Really the goalkeeper should be playing in green. Tortorella, terrible first touch from him. Puts it out for a throw for us. And 1-0 at half-time, you can't really argue. You can't really complain too much. Bakur, Mladenovic. Oh, come on. A bit more composure from the midfield there. And we could have had a better result going in at half-time. 1-0 down to a Robertinho goal. I'm going to calmly say I expect to see a much better performance. I'm going to calmly tell them there's a lot more to come from them. Yeah, it's better. Don't seem stressed, fella. Don't seem stressed. Okay, Shakhtar 1, Lviv 0. This will be the league you would expect, unless they're playing each other on the final day. Gonzalez now to Cabistel. Cabistel to Gogua. Gogua! That would have been a bit like Papis Cissé's effort for Newcastle against Chelsea. Outside curler into the top corner. That would have had to have been. It would have been a stunner, but it didn't go in. Robertinho has given the ball to Montano. And Rosic has gone through again. Is that going to be another yellow card for him? Yeah. All right, 57 minutes gone. We're not really looking brilliant here. We don't have anyone to replace Bakur, who's not playing well. Nazarenko's not doing great. What if we did that and really flung a cat amongst those pigeons, not just putting it in there? And I'm going to put Shpak in because he's got a history of scoring at Shakhtar. Tortorella, bad free kick. Now then, strange decision to bring on a left back at right midfield, but we have made it. Gogua tackled on the edge of the box, gives the ball eventually to Gonzalez. Juric has still got it. Gonzalez, Gogua, Shpak hits the ball, goes for it. No, he doesn't. Cabistel, he was offside. Shpak, you'd think, could have shot himself, one of his famous trademark curlers, but he doesn't. Good. 66 minutes gone. We have got one more substitute to make. Gogua has injured one of their players. That's nice to see. Montano is also injured. Maybe that's the same one. They've got two injured players down their right. Shpak or Taffy Lee saves. Now we get the chance to break. Let's bring on Belan for Labant, who's not playing well. To Marcy. I'm sure he's having a great time in his completely unexpected position. Montano, Robertinho. They're still playing it around us quite nicely. Oh, we tackle but still give the ball to them. Lebedev. Miloc gets tackled. Montano. Juric clears. Another throw for Shakhtar. Ribas. Gonzalez now. Rosic has got the ball. Gives it to Cabistel. Cabistel goes backwards. Juric. Gogua. We've still got the ball. Juric can give it up the line. He does. Belan has it. Cabistel has it. Cabistel's tackled by Sanchez. Hugo Sanchez, in fact, enjoying a career renaissance. Nazarenko crosses. Cactus saves. Nazarenko to Rosic. Rosic gets around his man, but Natale was there waiting for him. Juric to Špak. Gogua to Nazarenko now. Rosic has it. Rosic. What was that? Usually that you would expect him to turn and then fire across the goal, but instead he tried to curl it for some reason. Montano. Juric. Belan gets there. Rosic is going to go through. No, he's not. Cactus is able to cover up the back pass, and they now have the ball again. Hernandez with the ball through to Matias. Matias hits wide. This has been a much more even game since their initial spell where they scored. We've had definitely some stronger periods. We got to score a late equaliser now. Come on. Kubistel, no. Fabri, Špak. Out to Nazarenko. Nazarenko to Špak. Špak to Gogua. Gogua, great ball. Up to Rosic. Rosic. Lovely. To Nazarenko. Špak again. Špak puts it through to Rosic. Rosic, what's he going to do? Give it to Gogua. Gogua to Rosic. Rosic goes round one. Goes round two. No. No, not quite. Don't yourself get on. Don't get yourself sent off is what I was trying to say there. There's still 3 minutes. Still potential. Gonzalez puts the ball over the bar. And we do have a late corner. Gogua, Fabri trying to recreate the heroics of a couple of years ago, or last year in fact, but doesn't. Robertinho's goal has scored probably the goal that wins them the league. Not 100% confirmed yet because I think Krivbas won as well. But yeah, unlucky lads. That wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad a performance. We did okay. Did Krivbas win? Yeah, they won 5-0 to set up a interesting final day of the season. I'm not sure who Shakhtar are playing. Let's see. Krivbas, who do you have? Krivbas have Olympic. That should be an easy game. Shakhtar have Arsenal. Not quite as such an easy game. Where are Arsenal there? Oh no, well, maybe not then. Alright, well, interesting. It'll be a fun last day of the season. Anyway, that's the end of... Oh dear. Fabri's unable to play in the final. That's a shame. I didn't make any comments to him, so good. Let's then leave that as it is. So I'll see you for the game against Govella, which is in a few days' time. See you then. Goodbye.